You're watching Oilersnation Radio.
I'm so hungry today.
If you're watching the video
brand
version,
names on there. He's good.
well, since you're on video scarfing down your food, what do you got in there?
Yeah.
So Amber made a 1-sheet meal: onion, bell pepper, carrot, potato, all seasoned very good, I may add, with some chorizo sausage.
Oh, very
whipped
nice.
up in there. It's really tasty.
I bet
I'll
you're
have one
enjoying
more
that.
bite, then I'm done.
Little tray bake.
finish
No,
it.
I want you. We're not going to
take
get
your
into
time.
it
Take
until
your
you
We
time.
got like 2 left.
Our delicious
Yeah.
debate
Might as
can't
well.
end until you're hungry again.
Yep.
Just tip it back. What are you waiting for?
Can't be-
Yeah, shovel it
the
in there.
last bit of chips.
Yeah,
Can't be eating
Just
delicious
get your
food
fingers in there.
during a delicious
Scoop it
debate.
out.
Get those lips on the tip.
You.
Tip it down.
Oh boy.
Oh man,
This is what happens,
You were on
Tyler.
fire.
We're not allowed to get into the debate
Liam
until
is on fire lately.
What? Eat
You didn't
fruit.
even catch what he
What
said
are you
last
waiting for?
No, you weren't here when he was bragging.
his golf
about
league.
his-
That one was deliberate.
His
The other
brand
two
new
were.
golf league.
Oh man.
Revolutionary.
All right.
All right. Well,
Tyler's almost done, so I can start with the plug until he gets into the delicious debate. Just don't choke over there.
Nothing to wash it down either, eh?
Nothing.
someone drank all the
Oh, there you go.
Coca-Cola.
Oh boy.
He probably did.
You go upstairs and get a static soda out of the fridge.
What the hell is that?
Before real life yesterday, BM and I were like, oh, there's just club soda in the fridge. That sucks. At the end, one, he goes to the fridge, oh my God, club soda.
I don't understand people that just raw dog club soda. I can't do
get
it. It tastes like
European
TV
thing.
static to me.
That dude always drinks club soda.
That's all he
and then
drinks.
sometimes when the sun goes down a bit, he'll throw in a couple fingers of vodka.
Mhm. I tried to do the vodka sodas with a little lime wedge in it, like Wanya does.
It's the first one that's tough to get down. After that, they fly.
I just can't.
I like tequila sodas.
tequila sodas. I'll do,
Yeah, that's
but like just straight up raw dog in a soda.
that makes no sense.
So before we started recording, it's my first time back in a few weeks.
Right.
Didn't really get much of a welcome back. All
What have
good.
you been
All good
doing,
over.
Tyler?
Four Nations facing off. But you guys said usually before I left, I came up with the delicious debate.
Yep.
Mhm.
And now I'm being told new rule.
New
Yes,
rule.
rules.
They were all.
You were there for the vote. We gave you an opportunity to speak up.
What?
You have a picture of him or something?
Well, like
Actually, there
we
was
asked him
only
to
three of
speak
us
up.
that
Yeah, I think
vote.
it was just the three of us.
We
made
asked
a-
him to speak up.
Well, we had 3 votes of the 5. That's all.
So
we
do
needed.
I not do delicious debate?
You can do it today.
that's-
No, you
You can do
definitely
it
have
today, but we're rotating.
Oh, really?
rotating the
Yeah.
delicious
So
debate.
we're
that's
all
awesome.
rotating every week.
It adds a different flavor to it.
And then also too, like
We're slowly pushing you out of the company.
Puts a ton of pressure on Rick and I.
One thing at a time.
I've got enough AI video and footage of him right now that I can just. You'll never know.
and also too, like you have to just present it on the show.
Yeah, you can't.
You usually send the sheets, which is very appreciated, but moving forward, no more, please.
Kind of like an Ask the Idiot situation. First
Oh,
take.
Yeah,
yeah.
first take. Like on Tuesday, we had Coom on the show,
It's true.
And we made him come up with it on
and
the
we
spot.
made him do it. And his question was,
Well, the first one
If
didn't
you-
make it past the cut.
no, he didn't love the
Should've.
first one. I mean, he probably better than the second one.
Yeah.
He asked if there was a cap compliancy buyout, which every team had, who would you buy out on the Oilers?
Oh, that's a great question.
yeah. So who would you say?
Who would probably Kane?
You do it right now. It has to happen like right now because
It
well,
wasn't.
Liam was trying to push it back to the summertime, and that wasn't part of the.
So right now, I can just take anyone's cap hit off the books for the Edmonton Oilers. Well, then
Yes.
it's not Kane because you can use his LTIR space right now. Then the answer,
Answer it.
Say it. I said the
Say
same
it.
thing.
Say it.
damn it, it's Darnell.
It's Darnell Nurse.
Wow.
Not because of how
Or it's Arvidsson.
It's Arvidsson.
I
You need
did-
Darnell.
In the
more
summer, it might be Darnell, but right now, it might be Arvidsson.
It not Darnell's contract is, and I know people are going to hate this. It's going to get better and better as the years go on because we already know what the cap is, and it's going up and up and up and up and up. It's Arvidsson. Darnell could easily be on Team Canada next year if he plays like this year. Like
Yeah,
if he
but
plays
not
like
at
this year,
$9
next
million.
year.
easily.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah. You know what? Right now, it is Arvidsson. Summer, I will say, though, it is Nurse because then you take that money and you pay it to other defensemen in free agency.
Well, that was
better.
Make the same mistake again.
They better be better.
Yeah.
that's what Liam and others were
Are you
saying.
resign him for more money? He finally gets that raise I've been pushing for.
That's the point.
Turn Darnell into 2 players on defense.
2 Darnell Nurses.
Yeah, like you sign like Pionk and then someone else. Maybe.
But
Anyway,
that's
Tyler,
not this week's.
for our friends at Odd Company,
Yeah, that
of
was
course,
Tuesday.
proud partner of Nation Beer Everyday Lager, perfect for your next big game or your next go-to lager, or to recover from a painful series of losses. whatever you want. Find it at either of the two Odd Company locations here in Edmonton or at liquorconnect.com. Like a search engine for your beers. Find it at a liquor store near you. And if it's not near you, ask them why not. Get Nation Beer Everyday Lager today. I enjoyed a couple of them after last night's debacle. Over to you, Tyler.
Percent chance a forward gets traded off this roster, not waived or anything like that, but percent chance a forward gets traded off this roster by next Friday's deadline.
And I want to add to, like, if you're going to say yes, I want to know who.
Mm-hmm.
I, before this week, would have said it's like a 10% chance. But after watching the forwards struggle as much as they have, I think it's like a 50% shot. And I think it's Victor Arvidsson.
I'll agree with Dan that it's Arvidsson, and I'll say 60% chance.
I was gonna lean to Arvidsson, but we'll do something different here, and I think it'll be higher than 60. I think we'll almost guaranteed it. So let's just call it 85, and most likely Skinner. I'm not one I want.
There's no way he waves.
But he has a full no move.
Yeah, he's got
That's
full
the
no
problem.
move.
That's why Arvidsson has no trade protection. I don't think Henrique does either.
Also,
Actually,
thank goodness. If
Yeah.
they give Arvidsson protection, it would have been basically every.
I think if he sharpened his skates, he might be better in the playoffs. I'm just really
sharpen him now.
I had a Predators fan quote tweet that joke I had yesterday about the skate sharpening. And they said 2 teams later and he's still falling down. And I was like, oh, fuck, this isn't like a one-off.
But he didn't do that with LA.
It's like
did he?
Radek Dvorak in 2005.
Victor
He was just
Arvidsson
fast
has
Zambo.
always been a player that tries to draw penalties.
But he's
He
not
spends-
trying to draw penalties.
He
He just
spends half
falls.
of his time on his knees because I feel
not
like
trying
he's
to draw
getting
penalties.
I
He
really
just
do think he
falls.
is.
I think he might just be falling and the NHL's looking at it like diving and he gets fined and he's like, what?
He's on these fine. Don't tell anybody.
I
Though.
feel like the player has created a monster that
But like sometimes he'll just tumble.
yes, that too. But
I don't know.
It's
Anyways,
He looks like he's learning to walk on skates.
Somebody's
That's good.
restriction. Somebody's movement restrictions just changes right away here.
Like, have you ever seen when a calf is born and it's trying to figure out its clompy legs? That's what he looks like on
And be
skates.
nice.
Liam, what's your number and who it be?
I think what did I say? 55%. Just before I know any. I think if Kane is back, I would pretty much guarantee it as well because they have to move a bit of money. Like even if it's just a small thing, like Kasperi Kapanen goes back in a deal they try to make to just get $1 million off, and they can send down Savoy and like they got a little bit of money there. But like in the hypothetical world I want to live in, where Kane does not return until the playoffs, we always can use his cap. I would still move on from Arvidsson. Like I just don't.
He's not living up to his contract.
He's not living up to anything. Like it doesn't even matter. Like, and the thing is too, that it's so frustrating with him.
he might
is-
clear waivers.
at his price
You
tag,
know, the fact that you have to think about it, like, kind of gives you the indication.
If you have to ask the
probably.
question,
Well, how about this question? The Oilers haven't looked nearly the same since waiving Derek Ryan on
Which-
January 4th.
Crazy coincidence.
coincidence or correlation, I'll say coincidence.
But to answer the question, it's Arvidsson for me. Like the thing that drives me nuts is how many games when I'll do my post-game article at Oilersnation.com and I look at the box score and he's just got fucking zeros everywhere.
It's
No
nuts.
shots, no hits, nothing.
but he shows up in the coach's heart.
Amen.
Which, do you know, I really don't get that. Like,
It's the eye
he
test,
just
Liam.
sits on the top 6. He's locked in there with like him, McDavid, and Draisaitl feel like the 3 most constants in the top 6. Like even Hyman and Nuge have been pushed down to the 3rd line in moments. Like obviously different to spread out the offense and stuff. But like, I just don't get it. Like there's always the argument for Podkolzin, and I was like, hey, he goes to get pucks. Like Draisaitl's come out in the media and said, like, I like guys who do that. Arvidsson does not do that.
He goes in there. He just doesn't win the
He doesn't
battles.
come out with it. He goes
He doesn't
in.
win the battles. 100%.
Matt Savoy wins more battles than him.
That's yeah, he does. It's nuts. So
The first play of his
it's
career was
crazy.
great.
The Evander Kane thing is interesting. The fact that he has to put in his 16, the others have asked for his 16 team trade list. And that changes Sunday, right? That's the first. Oh,
Yeah,
tomorrow.
the first
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Maybe out to Boston.
Well, it's
Bring a
all
rat
going to be
back,
very dependent.
Put a rat and a worm on the same team. I'd smile. So I don't know if like a face could handle that if it happened. I don't think it happens for the record, but
Dare to dream though.
I'd welcome him back. I really would.
Kane?
Kane. I think
I have no
he's,
problems with it.
No, and like I understand the disappointment of like if he was to come back because of the money side of things, but I don't want him to come back until the playoffs, but like they need someone like that so bad.
But he has
so
to take that.
bad.
He has to take that upon himself and go back and playing like he did 10 years ago.
But I think
From like when you're a younger guy and like, hey, this is what the team needs right now. They need a
I think
heartbeat.
that-
They need an engine. I need to go out there and
But I
cause
still
If
think
he's healthy for the first time in 3 years,
Something like
I
that.
think it would probably just kind of come back out.
Not since the stand on his wrist by Patrick Maroon.
Yeah, then he had that, and then he
been
had
a long
broken
time.
ribs. Then it sounds like he had 95 surgeries last year, and like, holy cow.
612 needles to play a game.
I just worry that we're getting 2025 Evander Kane.
We don't
And
know
I-
what 2025 Vander Kane is.
I just don't think it's going to be what everybody's been hoping it's going to be.
Well, we'll see. We got a week left until deadline day. I got some questions about the deadline coming up a little bit later. But anybody else outside of Victor Arvidsson you could see getting moved ahead of next Friday's trade deadline?
Kapanen, even if it's
Just kept up.
waivers, $1 million, you can burn it right through.
Yeah, and I think you put him down to because then you still have your depth.
Yeah, keep the depth. Klingberg.
I think
don't think
Klingberg's the highest % chance guy to get dealt.
I don't.
His cap's weird. Do you get it?
No, 1.7 is what it says on Puckpedia. So
But it's something like if they're in the LTIR money, then it's only 800 on the
Yeah.
cap or something like that,
And I don't
which
like.
is fine then.
But the day it happened isn't the day. Like which day did they just choose a random day out of a hat? Like
don't know.
April 11. That's your day.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I guess we were prepped for that. I don't understand how. Is it the first day we got him? Is it the last day of the season? Like
I don't know.
I don't know.
But if you need to get it, you need to.
NHL's going the same thing. Like, hey, Oilers are calling in asking the same thing, and NHL's like, nah, I got no idea. Man.
What did you do to this contract? Yeah, I don't know. If the Oilers go
Bulletproof?
anywhere near the playoffs with Troy Stetcher and Klingberg possibly playing top 4 minutes, then let's just plan for a round or two, I think.
I don't think Klingberg's that bad.
Oh, Rick, he's
Go
not,
ahead
but
and
he's
say
not
that.
good, man.
I don't think he's
You
that
didn't
bad
like him when he
either.
got here. You were
Correct.
against bringing him in already. So
Correct.
So you're not going to go and change your mind. You're going to go and watch and look for all the things that support your.
I will say this: he's
Analysis
better than I
coming in.
thought he'd be.
And how many games has he played?
8.
Too many.
Okay, but the problem
And he had the 2 weeks off
So
in between.
let's say
And he got a goal and assist in
He
a
was with
game
the Oil
when we
Kings.
couldn't produce any offense.
okay, but let's say night one Stanley
Two
Cup
assists last
playoffs.
night, too.
Edmonton's drawn Colorado. You're cool with Klingberg going up against Nathan McKinnon in a top 4 role?
No, you're going up the Oilers against the Avalanche. You're not going one-on-one. This isn't a D-back and a wide receiver.
But
They're-
You
they
got
are-
to play defense as a team.
He can't kill penalties either, and their penalty kill needs help. Like he's gone because we need someone who can kill penalties and someone who's better at 5-on-5 than him.
if Klingberg is your 6-7 defenseman,
Love
that's
him.
fine. I have no problem with either of those players. I ended the sentence with saying if they're in your top 4,
Mhm.
that would mean the Oilers did not address arguably their biggest hole since the offseason. Right?
Yes.
Depends on what hole we're talking. Because I mean, I get
top four
I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but right now it also appears that we may have a hole at score at offense.
Yeah, to your
We might have a hole between the pipes.
Like I'm not I'm not getting as down as a lot of people because you have your highs and your lows in a season. This is a very veteran team. And I think they'll figure it out. I think this team is built for the playoffs, but you should be starting to play playoff hockey like right now.
Yep.
So there's a lot of question marks involved right now. I'm scratching my head a lot, and it's very frustrating. But I still see this team, and I just, if we do what Toronto did a couple of years ago, I think it's a very bad move, and I think a lot of people kind of want that to try and like cure this recency bias.
I think they can change it in 2 moves. So 3, but 2 of them are 1 move. I think you get Arvidsson,
What's the move?
I think you get Arvidsson out,
Okay.
which then opens up more money.
What are you doing? Like,
JJ Paterka, please.
Sure.
is it because you got in a fight yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they can somehow
And
get
he's
him,
on the trade board as
Yeah.
of today.
just crazy. Buffalo's like, we stink and whatever. And they have a 21-year-old who almost scored 30 goals last year. And they're like, surely if we trade that guy, we're going to, anyways, that's a Buffalo rant. Keep going.
I don't have names, but you need to go and get some middle 6 guy who brings you a bit of physicality and
A
can
lot of
probably
physicality.
chip in some offense.
Lawson Krause.
Trent Frederick, anybody?
This whole
The other one is you need to go and get a top 4 defenseman. It is so, I just think it matters so much because if you a night like last night, for example, where you have Nurse out and Ekholm plays bad, you're asking Brett Kulak to do a lot to step up,
Which he can.
which he definitely
He
did.
was their best player
did.
last night.
But you can't. You need more. You
I just think
really-
on the right side too, like I have a problem with the right side specifically
Me
because
too.
Bouchard's battling it right now. I'm not acknowowledging anybody who
Everyone
says
is.
trade Bouchard.
No, that's ridiculous.
Like it's ridiculous. So I'm not acknowledging it, but there's little doubt that he's struggling right now. Then after that, the right side is a hot mess to me. Like I like Ty Emberson, but he's your 3RD.
Yeah.
It's that middle spot that I just don't trust Klingberg or Stetcher in.
I think as long as you've got a healthy Nurse and Ekholm both playing at the top of their game, because Ekholm, I know not a lot of people are willing to say it right now, and I know you said it last night, Ty.
He was ass.
He's been struggling almost all year.
Oh yeah.
He's pretty sick.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect lead in because I want to do this.
Okay,
Last game of Sweden, he was going to be out till a couple other guys were more sick.
Didn't he miss a game before the Four Nations? I'm sure he missed like Toronto or something like that. Did he not?
He was like on the fence of
Colorado,
playing or not.
someone like that. So I just think like, and I know it's been a long thing for him, but like maybe it was worse than we thought.
Can I
The Arvidsson issue?
Here's my problem
If
with
somebody
that.
came out and said all of them have mono, I'd go, that makes sense.
Thank
They've
you.
been kissing.
And we just couldn't sit all of them. We're like, they're not playing as a team. It's like, no, the problem is they're actually too close. We can't
too
stop
much,
them from
too much
kissing.
kissing.
But so I sent out that thing about Ekholm and you go through the replies and I got,
don't go through a reply.
I know, but I got a lot of, he's sick. What do you expect? His partner sucks. What do you expect? He's old. What do you expect? He's always good in the playoffs. I'm not worried about it. Versus Evan Bouchard, who's having, again, just as poor of a season as Matthias Ekholm. Why doesn't he get his partner sucks? Because his partner sucks right now. Why doesn't he get no one has ever once, when McDavid sucks, when Draisaitl sucks, when those guys all have bad games, it's like, no, maybe he's sick or injured. Evan Bouchard, it's like, no, he's an idiot.
He's terrible.
You're
not wrong.
With Matthias Janmark has stunk this year. But as you guys have said, and in the playoffs, you'll get a better Janmark. Evan Bouchard's been the best defenseman in the Stanley Cup playoffs. You could argue back-to-back seasons. How come no one wants to be like, you're going to get the best Bouchard in the playoffs? Everyone's like,
it's because you don't acknowledge my replies.
To defend my Ekholm.
Because Janmark's a blue collar, Bouchard's a white collar, and everybody's going to hate the white collar than the blue collar.
Exactly. And that's just where I'm frustrated is like, again, everyone's jumping through hoops to be like, this is why Ekholm's playing bad and this and this and that. And when Bouchard plays bad, it's like, trade him. Gotta trade him. You gotta trade him.
There is evidence to prove Ekholm was sick.
Go ahead.
Sure.
He was sick. That's it.
Maybe he should.
Also, I agree with you, by the way. Earlier in the season, I can't remember what game it was, but there was a moment at home where like Ekholm like clearly was just not skating well at all, and everyone was blaming Bouchard. I can't remember.
Vegas. It was against Vegas. It was the goal for there was the left-handed shot coming. I know exactly which one it was, and
I put out a clip.
Everyone's like this because where is he? I was like, well, you got to get close because of Ekholm where he is. And Ekholm knocked off the puck by a guy smaller than, I don't know, pick a small person out there somewhere. He lost his one-on-one battle he should never have lost. And then that made Bouchard look like he's in the wrong spot. The puck went over his Noah Hannafin, who scored off the left side.
And then to compound things like last night's game, 2 moronic penalties.
And
that trip was a little bit unlucky, but that last one, but yes, I agree.
In the first period, he had a giveaway that I think it was Reinhardt who literally just skated and was like, thank you, and went to the net. And I was like, if Bouchard did that, there would be 9 spec pieces about him in the next 3 days.
Should we talk about how 90% of the passes are fucking over 120 feet?
Yes.
Every time we're behind the net, we're firing the puck up the boards to a guy standing on the far fucking blue line. Yeah. And that is apparently our breakout. That's how we're going to get the puck down there and create
0 puck support.
Absolutely insane. We're going so far all the time.
This will get Liam going, but some of this complaints about the defenseman turning pucks over, it is on the forwards.
Yes, you need to come back and go out as a fucking team, man. The Mighty Ducks did it. You can't do a flying V when you're that far apart. You got to be close.
I think that
was the whole part of it.
So I'm working on the GDB for Oilersnation.com for tomorrow's game against the Hurricanes. And I say, please, God, can you simplify your game? Puck support, short passes, get some pucks on net and get to the crease. Please, God.
Everything's looking like we're trying to go for like a bomb pass.
It's amazing when the Oilers are struggling how they try to make things harder for themselves. And your breakout example is a perfect one.
Yeah.
So there's no puck support. 0. So you either have to complete a 150-foot pass.
It has to be a sauce too. That thing leaves the ice to get the void of 19 sticks out there.
On target, or you've got no option.
And then we just turn the puck over and then they come back. And we're already struggling defensively. The best thing you could do when you struggle defensively is keep the puck in the offensive zone and don't go play down there.
And you also don't have a group of defensemen that generally move the puck well outside of a couple.
We had
another reason to keep Klingberg.
Jason Demers on the show today.
He did move the puck well.
And he was talking, it's like just the details of his team are crazy. Like on faceoffs, not knowing where to go. Like, it is so much chaos in front of Skinner, and this, what was it, second and third goal yesterday, I think it was, right? Like, and Knobloch said this in his post game. He's like, they're just giving guys so much time to make plays. And like, should Skinner have stopped the third?
Probably, yes.
Probably, yes.
So many issues in front of it.
Like, no forwards came back because they all went for a change.
The Oilers' two best players went for a line change on a Florida rush. If you watch the clip, in the first frame, if you freeze it, you see Draisaitl and McDavid on the ice. And then for about 8 frames, you don't see any Oilers coming back. And then it's like Connor Brown and Jan Markenter. And you're like, they changed. They looked and were like, well, surely Nate Schmidt won't score. And they changed. It's inexcusable.
Yeah, it's really bad. And even like the Ty Emerson error, like he made a mistake. He cleared into nobody. But all 3 forwards were on one side of the ice. Why? Where is the left winger on that play that then allows whoever the defenseman was, probably Nate Schmidt again, because we just let these third pairing defensemen beat the shit out of us yesterday, walk in and just bank it off Lindell, and all of a sudden it's 2-1. Like, the Oilers are just screwing themselves so much. And the goaltending, yes, 100% needs to be better. Like, but it's hard to argue against. But they also need to help him and make his life better. That's the problem.
I can't say goaltending is the number one issue right now.
I can't either. When the team is playing so poorly in front, it needs
like,
to
that's just it. And people want to just point the finger at Stu, and I get why you're doing it. He's the last thing you see. The puck has to go past him. We make so many mistakes in front of him right now that he's just another guy making another mistake.
Yeah.
To me, it's October Spider-Man meme. You know what I mean? There's just point. It's the exact same shitty hockey that they were playing in October.
I hate it.
I think last night was, like it or not, I think last night was a little bit better than it was the last.
It was. There's no doubt. I mean, they lost by one.
Period was just
someone put in our chat today. Might have been Mr. Burns. They put in there that if this was like a single game and the Oilers lost 4-3 on the road against Florida, it would obviously be like, whatever. Like, they played okay. Like, errors were made. Like, just another game, they'll bounce back. But it's the fact that like that doesn't matter because you've lost 5 games in a row.
That game in a vacuum, fine. That game coupled with the rest,
yeah, at least it was better, which is good, I guess, for a team that's trying.
It does, because this team, when they lose the way they've been losing recently, they usually come out with it. They come out of it by putting up very little offense, but playing a very stout defensively game and pretty much winning that game in a 3-2, 2-1 type of manner. We lost by 1 goal last night, so I'm expecting to see the same type of thing tomorrow.
Yep,
where they win 2-1, 3-1, something like that. It's going to be very low scoring. And then eventually sometime next week, someone's going to absolutely get lit up by this team, because they start to bring the shit together again. And the offense just kind of does what it does.
And that's why I was go back to basics, boys. Simple plays.
This team is so talented.
They are so talented. So like, that's why I think they always try and force that shit through. But sometimes you just really got to dial it back, because it's like Demers said, the small details of their game are not being executed.
It's time for the blender to go away. Like, frankly, the forwards need groups to understand and trust each other. These last 4 games especially have shown a disjointed forward group that, to me, the defense is what's stirring the entire team's stick right now. They're playing the defense, and they're the ones that are shooting. They're out shooting the forwards. Most cases, Brett Kulak had the most shots on the team yesterday. Yeah, that's not okay. And you heard Jack and you had Jack and Louis yesterday trying to explain it away, like, well, you can tell that the Florida defense is much better because the offense can't get anything going. No, the Oilers offense has been horrendous since that Colorado game.
I'd also,
that's not okay.
Yeah, because I heard that too, Dan, in the broadcast. I was like also thinking like, yeah, the D is getting a lot more shots than the forwards right now, but you're also ignoring that the forwards are passing up so many opportunities to shoot the puck.
Yep.
So I dug into some of the numbers here on Natural Stat Trick. This season, year as a whole, at 5-on-5, they are first in shots for per 60, fourth in high danger shot attempts, second in expected goals, and ninth in actual goals. Okay, so they are first, fourth, second, and ninth in those metrics. Okay. In the month of February, this was before the Florida game, so it's worse now, but before the Florida game, in those same metrics, they were 11th in shots for, 31st in high danger shot attempts, 19th in expected goals for, and 19th in actual goals.
Less passy.
That's
more
not,
shooty.
That's not another team doing that to you. That's self-inflicted.
We should put that on a quote board. Bag milk on Oilers struggles. Less passy, more shooty.
Last time you had a comment like that, it turned on to 2 shirts. Keep Nuge forever, kept Nuge forever.
Damn.
Now we'll get another one going.
But like Connor McDavid, I know he's fighting it, but like used to be a lock to score 40 goals every year.
I said this on Tuesday, and I'm
He
curious.
still could get there, frankly.
I have a serious issue with coaching right now. I think this team comes out very slow at the beginning of the season, very slow to begin the after the break, very slow in first period of most games. To me, I don't care if the coach makes another X and O's plays on the board again this year. He has to find a way to make sure this team comes out with juice.
They're not prepared.
I don't know if it's not prepared, but they're not coming out playing. They're not coming out banging and crashing and playing like they're.
That to me is more on the leadership in the room than the coach. It's not the coach's job to get you fired up. It's the leaders.
When you do it like 1,000 times in a row where you don't, then yeah, it is the coach's
That's
job.
why
It shouldn't be his job. But when the team, look at the Detroit, you're gonna hate that. Look at the Detroit Lions.
Yes. Oh, I like the Lions.
Get me Dan Campbell in the damn dressing room, and then all of a sudden look at what
I think the Oilers
We're
are
constantly going for it on fourth down. Let's go.
You adopt the mentality of your coach in that situation. Our coach always seems so mild-mannered, calm, relaxed, and we do the exact same thing on the ice. I want to see you throw a goddamn water bottle, so then someone goes out there and I don't mind the Leon penalty the first thing of the game. Probably not great, but when you go out there and you're laying the lumber on some dude's back, yeah, that one doesn't bother me.
I actually
show that you're pissed off.
really appreciated Corey Perry dropping the mitts.
Me too.
Yeah.
But sometimes
That's
I
the
think
guy who, like, he gets it. He's been around 100 years and he knows that this could spark the team, but like, it can't always
We need
be
more of
Corey
them.
Perry.
It can't stop there.
that's what I mean. And sometimes I think the Oilers' big guns have a bit too much of a too cool for school attitude.
Those two are fine. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
But they set the tone.
Yes, but look at the guys right underneath them. Those are the ones you want to look at. Those two are like untouchables. They're some of the best in the world. They're almost Hall of Famers. You almost have to like put them in a separate case.
No,
because they played terrible, and Leon keeps fucking scoring.
I know.
He's that fucking good.
But
you need more out of your guys like Hyman, out of your Nugents, out of your guys, the level right underneath that. Your Nurses, your Ekholms, your Bouchards.
But remember Game 7 a few years ago against the Kings when Connor went and just murdered Dursey, and it was like, let's go, boys.
100%. I agree with you there. But those are going to be one-offs when they get it done. When this team needs to drag themselves out of this hole. You can't look at those two to do the fucking heavy lifting. They're going to score the goals. We go in the muck shit up, and then they're going to score, and that's how you win as a team. When we get out of this stupid shit, then we can start doing shit again. But we have to play very simple right now, which means blue collar, go do blue collar shit, and those two, go do your Hall of Fame shit, and we'll be fine.
I also, maybe it's just me, but I had a big problem with Chris Knobloch calling the team soft or fragile publicly. Like, if that is the case, fine. Keep that shit in the fucking room, man.
That was
pronounced
quote.
fragile.
Fragile, yeah. Fragile.
And then Mike Rupp, actually, I thought he had an interesting quote. He goes, well, fragile is the little brother of soft. So
see, it's interesting.
Too mild
usually
Too Clark Kent. Give me Superman.
Usually Knobloch doesn't say a lot, does he? Like
no.
But I think he must, like, for your point of view saying like, it's on him to get the team going. And I agree. I think the coach needs to be involved in that too. But you wonder after that comment last night, he comes out and he's like, too many passengers. Like I feel like he's saying a lot and those players are just
not responding.
Also, like another thing that last night, have some discipline, boys.
Yep.
As much as I felt
like Florida got away with a ton as well.
Yes. Also, yes.
Yeah.
100%. But still, when you go to the penalty box 6 times, shout out to the PK. They needed a win and they got one.
Thanks for the offside.
Being
that was cheating.
Well,
Shouldn't have shot.
yeah,
No, you're right. You never cheat.
But like, you almost spent a period in the box.
Yeah.
Tough to win that way.
One thing.
Yet they're only down by 1 goal.
So just on last night on the lines, not as much of a blender yesterday. Like the only real changes were Draisaitl went with Hyman McDavid a couple of times, or whichever way you want to look at it. And Nuge therefore replaced Draisaitl with Victor Arvidsson and Jeff Skinner. But the line, which played just as many minutes at 5-5, which was only 6:49, as Hyman, Draisaitl, and McDavid, was Janmark, Henrique, and Brown. They did not have a scoring chance for and were out at scoring chance 4-0. We're on the ice for 2 goals against. One of them, they were kind of sewered with the line change. And their Corsi, which is basically just shots on goal.
Shot attempts.
Yep. They were outshot attempted 10-1.
We're a perimeter team right now.
And that sucks.
And
Drives
you're
me
not going
nuts.
to, those guys are not going to get shots on. Of course, he's going to look terrible if you keep playing this perimeter style. When was the last time we got the puck and cycled?
They look like the
other
NBA
zone?
right
I
now.
will say,
It's all around the 3-pointer.
aside from the Nuge, Arvidsson, and Skinner line, which only played 40 together, the other four lines were over 50% on their course, and they were the only line.
You
Love
need
the
Hyman and
Korsky.
Nuge to come play.
Yeah.
man.
The other thing I was going to say is to start, because you mentioned it on the PK. I did this yesterday. Someone pointed out there, like the PK in December when this team was absolutely rocking was like 6th in the league, 88%. The special teams was 32%.
Tough to win when it's a coin flip.
And since January, they're, I think that's
60%.
31st or something like that.
Yep.
Like that
60%.
needs to be figured out so much. And it starts with obviously not going to the boxes often. And
Still,
I know
you gotta
they're like
kill
a
it.
fairly disciplined team for the most part, but it just feels like this. It's just everything about this team is just fall. The floor is gone.
Right
They're
now.
they're all just standing there trying to reach out, grab the ledges, pull themselves up.
And those players, like,
no one's tall enough.
there's a bunch of players too on the roster that, like, listen, I've defended Matthias Janmark a bunch of times. He's good on the penalty kill. Well, now they're not killing penalties and he's not scoring goals. So, like, guys, we got some issues here.
Got one
And
of them.
you talked about blue collar guys not doing the blue collar shit.
Mhm.
I just went and looked up here. How many Oilers in the month of February? Like, can we all agree averaging one hit a game is kind of the bare minimum, probably, right?
Sure.
How many Oilers forwards do you think are averaging one hit per game or more?
4.
I'll say
One hit or more. I'm going to say 2.
I'll say 3.
It's got to be Podkolzin's going to be 1. It has to be a lot.
Podkolzin, 21 hits in 8 games. Great.
Kasperi Kapanen.
Kapanen.
Yes.
Leon?
Savoy.
Noah Philp, technically one hit in one game.
Count.
And Matt Savoy, technically 3 hits in 3 games.
Oh my
Those are
Lord.
the only 4. Corey Perry and Connor Brown.
That's so soft.
It is.
Corey Perry and Connor Brown did not register a single hit. Corey Perry and Connor Brown registered fewer hits than Jeff Skinner in the month of February.
This is-
what the fuck?
That is terrible for Connor Brown. Corey Perry still scores some
forgive.
goals and still
Yeah.
does a couple weird things here and there.
Got to fight.
Connor Brown is almost having a more of a letdown season this year than he had regular season than he had last year.
Yeah, he's not as impactful
It's-
outside of scoring.
Yeah.
Like
It's not a great way to measure defensive commitment. Oilers forwards who are averaging half a blocked shot per
Oh,
game or
no.
more. Half a blocked shot. Not even one whole block shot. Half.
Well, I got the number right last time, so it's time you guys to come up here.
Half a block shot.
for forwards.
You talking about forwards?
Just forwards.
Yeah,
One.
well, I know Janmark took one off the bum the other day. I don't know if that would count as a blocked shot,
Why
Yeah, I
not?
would.
but I'll say 1.
No, I'm gonna go with 2. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm going 2.
1. Yeah,
I'm going to go 3 just to be bullish.
3. Janmark has 4 and
Yes.
7, so barely. Henrique has 6 and 7. Nuge has 7 and 8. Everyone else is 3 or less in the 7 or 8 games they played.
fucking
Crazy.
There we
It's
go.
crazy.
Not ideal.
And then you see other teams where they're just like laying it all out to block shots. Like,
They're laying out to block our shots,
then they're playing for each other. Like, that's just fuck.
which we've seen our team do. We've seen our team do this season.
What would they do? Can you? I'd put you on the spot a little bit. Can you find those numbers in December when this team was buzzing? Like, very curious to know
Yeah.
if that's a big.
So also, I just quickly looked at Florida. The block shot one, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys who are half a block shot per game or more. And oh my God, 1 hit per game or more. The Florida Panthers have
All of them.
11 skaters, 11 forwards. Crazy.
11 and 12 forwards.
Compare those guys in suits standing on the bench.
Yeah, maybe. So you wanted December for those numbers for the
Yeah,
Oilers?
To Rick's point, I think like the thing that Paul Maurice does really well is he's generally pretty calm, but when he blows a gasket, he really blows it.
And
He's pointed.
probably, I'm more worried about what's going on in the room and the lights when there's no cameras.
Those
Yeah.
cameras.
So you wanted to know for hits we did 1 hit per game, right?
Yeah,
So in December, the Oilers, Podkolzin did, Kapanen did, Derek Ryan did, funny enough.
oh, yeah.
And that's actually it.
Could Derek Ryan be
So-
the answer?
Literally one
half
more.
half a block shot per game, though. The Oilers did have 7 guys doing that versus the 3 now.
Sacrifice,
They need Derek
boys.
Ryan back.
Go do the hard things, the things that don't get any attention. Well, don't get all the spotlight. Look what Team Canada did. Look at what the best line for Team Canada was, that one that went on fuck shit up.
Well, and if you're gonna have a hard hat award for like the hardest working guy or whatever that thing is for, like maybe let's earn it.
Bring back the best.
How about Kulak yesterday? 8 blocks.
I love Brett Kulak.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Aaron and Brett are doing a tattoo bet on After Dark, and it's based off block shots. And Aaron has Brett Kulak, so Breadman has Ty Emberson. Yep. So now
Emerson blocks a lot.
Not enough.
Not anymore.
He's got an 8.
Aaron is now up 9. Emberson have 1.
What is the tattoo that they have to get?
I think
because my recommendation was hilarious. Was that they get the other person's name?
Oh, face.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know.
Imagine like 20 years from now, it's like, what's that tattoo? It's like, oh, some guy I worked with 20 years ago.
Just a little portrait on their thigh.
Do you know Brett Kulak? No. Do you know Ty Emberson? No. All right. Well,
a long story.
Sonny Platon kid.
Download the Oodle Noodle app today. Order takeout or delivery. It's as easy. It's very, very easy to do, and you can earn free Oodle Noodle just by doing it. Sign up for the loyalty program through the app. Customers get 1,500 loyalty points, which is a $15 value just for signing up. You can download the Oodle Noodle app through the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Go on out and get it. Friends at Oodle Noodle as we continue on through the news. Brett Kulak, just sticking with him. Career high in goals last night. 7th goal. I love him. I wish the Oilers had 6 more of him.
And I know he struggled for a couple of games coming out of the break, and I had a few people again point out, like, how come you aren't talking about Brett Kulak struggling? 1, third pairing D-man who plays better than his cap hit most of the time. 2, that's a guy who, if there is one thing you can bet on come playoff time, you will get the best version of Brett Kulak for those playoffs.
Yeah, he'll be nails. Yeah. And like, he's a Swiss Army knife for this team. If you need him to move up, he can do that. Is it ideal? No, but he can do it effectively. And he's also chipping in with some offense. So shout out to him. The other thing I want to mention is Leon Draisaitl, 7-game heater. He's now got an 11-goal lead on the Rocket Richard.
That goal last night was insane.
That goal last night was unbelievable. And my favorite part about it was actually the replay when they showed him looking back over his shoulder. He's like, oh, no one's there. I guess I'll just stick my big arm out and push you out of the way.
End of the shift.
And then fucking roof it.
Like a child.
Unreal.
That was a full-size adult man who got pushed out one arm by like a child. He looked like Derrick Henry walking down.
Is that the goal of the season?
No.
From an Oilers perspective?
Probably not.
I'm trying to think, but that one for me was just unbelievable. Like you said, like it kind of came from nothing.
Yep.
End of a shift against Gustav Forsland, who was really good against the Oilers in the playoffs last season. And people are saying he's like the best or one of the best defensive defensemen in the league. And he's just like, no, I don't.
The most important thing about that was he won his battle.
Yep.
Not only did he win it, he made Forsling look like, you said, a small child.
Yes.
Brett Kulak moves into a tie with Adam Henrique, Connor Brown, and Victor Arvidsson in goals with 7 and passes Vasily Podkolzin.
Woo!
Is that a problem?
No one else?
That's a really good thing.
Beulah?
I was trying to cut down on my swearing on Owen every day, so I just wrote.
I did it for him.
Yeah, I wrote "fuck this" on a piece of paper and we'll just hold that up every once in a while.
Oh, I just didn't hold back.
Oh,
But that's really upsetting. That sucks.
It's not great. The other good news, though, should make you feel better. The Oilers reclaimed Travis Dermott. I was worried about him.
Thank God.
I wasn't so serious. I wasn't fully believing he wasn't in Bakersfield the whole time.
Thank goodness they can just send him right now.
I was actually legitimately shocked when I saw the Minnesota Wild had him. I didn't know. I don't, and I didn't.
Well, it's quite a coincidence, isn't it? Because the Oilers broke Middleton's finger or hand or something in that game when they beat them at 7-1. And then they put Dermott on waivers the next day. And then he was there. I don't know how many games he played. Shout out Alec Regula.
Oh, yeah.
Still kicking. He's chilling.
And like still up with the big club. But
Yeah, hang out.
They like
Do you think he goes to go on the road?
They never mention him skating.
Nope.
Like he's
chilling.
Dude,
Nobody's
they
asked
don't
the
mention
question.
him.
No.
End of sentence.
I want like
Is he even on the roster page?
yeah.
Oh, that's good. At least he's there.
Doesn't he have visa issues?
No, he's
just been hurt.
He's
He's been IR the whole
Canadian.
time.
Alec Regula. Let's look him up.
But was he hurt like Ryan Murray was hurt?
But
He's
like,
only 23.
but you would think if he was hurt the way Ryan Murray was hurt, and they were like, "Alec, you're hurt," like he'd be like, "Oh, can you just put me back on waivers, please?"
Yeah.
Weird one.
He was really good in the American League, but I'm pretty sure he was over a point per game defenseman and was like plus 38 last season for whatever team.
Maybe he's just a vibes guy. Love
There
to
you
have
go.
him around.
What do you think
plus,
he like?
plus 36, 26 points in 55 games as a defenseman on the Providence Bruins. I mean, that's not, he's only 24.
We're not going to make any transactions at the deadline. Regula is going to fix this team.
Mm-hmm.
Right
They
shot.
activate him on
6'4".
deadline day, and Bowman's like, he's like a deadline.
Do you remember when the Oilers
That's what I
acquired,
can't like. I can already see that happening with Evander Kane. It's going to drive me nuts.
Remember Ronnie Todd?
Addered. Yep. Big R. That's what I called him.
The fighter.
Oh, why are you laughing?
I actually feel like Rick's getting close to the point of broken that he was last November.
Yeah, like during the game, it's frustrating. But there were glimpses last night of us coming out of it. So at the end of the second period, I had a bit of a better feeling. It's very frustrating right now, and I'm at the point now where I think the GM needs to make a move in the same sense when you pull your goalie to wake your team up.
Yeah, a little shakeup. You're not firing Chris Knobloch.
And we've talked about this before, where there's a couple of guys that are on the roster now that Bowman did not bring in. All of Bowman didn't get to bring in a lot of players because the team was relatively set by the time he got here. So this would be an opportunity for him to do something, make a move, make his imprint on the team before we get to the playoffs.
What a statement it'll be when he inevitably moves out, Arvidsson. I just think that'll really like.
And I do think he's going to bring in a name that's going to put some smiles on faces and give us a little bit of artificial. Well, it might be real hope, it might be artificial hope, but it's going to make us feel better about them. We're going to let
him trading Victor Arvidsson and then going into Jeff Jackson's office and being like, "Thanks, Jeff.
Here's your future considerations."
Yeah. Boy, that's an expensive $4 million or fourth round draft pick we just got, but we got it, or whatever they get for him, a fifth
in 2037.
Hell yeah, I love future considerations, which in my opinion is probably just like a nice steak dinner next time.
But if you can make a move for a guy who can like actually do fourth line stuff, like get out there, he's got to be younger, he's got to be faster.
Fourth line was good yesterday.
Yeah, but I want like physical. I want that grindy type of stuff. Go get me a real grindy type of
like
forward.
Chris Neal back in the day. Remember him?
Let's go.
Chris Neal.
Yeah.
To Olivier.
Just like standing, like hanging out.
Like Sting?
His number.
Oh, Sting. Yeah, he's just waiting to come down.
Don't let him leave.
Do you know, Gregor made this point yesterday, a few days ago, on his show.
Conor
the
McGregor?
Jason Gregor show. Kevin Stenlund, you guys remember him? He was on the Panthers last year. I think he's on Utah now, right? Like, didn't score a goal in the playoffs, or maybe it was just the finals or something like that. But was that fourth line center, but was only on the ice for one goal against. Must have just been the finals. But that's all the Oilers need from like a fourth line guy, like just to go out there, win some draws, go on the penalty kill.
We need a guy to get the motors running on everybody too. You need a guy to get in there and like wake everybody up and go through a big hit so the rest of the team goes, oh, we can do that too.
Or just play reliably. I think reliable fourth line, like Kapanen, I've liked him for the majority of his time he's been there. He's been fairly good. You think he's been on a bad stretch, but like, shouldn't be your fourth line center. Because he's a winger.
Yeah, he should definitely be your winger. But Florida bullied us a lot last night. We need to push back. We need guys to go out there. Like when Kane does it on his own, then everybody else stands a little taller. Go back to LA a trillion years ago, and Yessa threw down, and then everybody threw down. Hyman threw down in that game too, did he not?
So that was one of those ones that we argued turned the season around.
Yes, they need that type of a situation right now.
And that turned around.
Put the bubble back on Hyman right now.
He's been a ghost for the first time in his Oilers career. I'm like disappointed in him, which is crazy.
He did score last night.
But you mentioned that as what turned around the season a few years ago. And last year, the guys all say like Matthias Janmark stood up when the team beat Washington 5-0. He stood up and said, like, when I was with Vegas, we all had like a paraphrasing, like a come to Jesus, like we need to play better defensive structured hockey. And that was the moment that turned around the Oilers season last year. And it's honestly what they need right now. They need to just play better structured hockey in the playoffs. It's not like they were running gun 100-foot passes.
No,
that's not how you win in the playoffs.
No, they just grinded the other team down and they were structured and predictable. And for the most part, got the saves. Boom. There's your recipe. And right now they're just so far from that. So far from that. Loose and soft.
Yeah. And spread out.
Yep.
Going to do some betting talk for our friends at Bet365. Tyler, get your betting prep ready. Betting segment is brought to you by our friends at Bet365, proud partner of Oilersnation Radio. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use the code NATION. Code is NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
First off, I'm going to start with what I would call some pretty exciting news here. And it is that Leon Draisaitl is now past the plus 100 threshold when it comes to the Hart Trophy, which means it is Leon Draisaitl versus the field for the Hart Trophy. He's number 1. Who would you guys, if you had a ballot, who would you put at number 2 on your Hart Trophy ballot when you look around the NHL? Then I'll tell you who Bet365.
Troy Stetcher.
Connor Hellebuck.
Did Hellebuck at 2?
That's a pretty good one.
I'd probably put Nate.
Yeah, Nate, Connor Hellebuck. I don't think you can go wrong with either of them.
We think Connor Hellebuck will challenge for the Art Ross. Just joking. I think Nathan McKinnon is the one that you put there just because he's got like that drive. He wants that award.
Yeah, I just don't think I can think of a better name. I think in terms of guys having the best personal season right now, it might be the old Russian, but
yeah,
there's an
I don't think he's a
made.
Hart there.
What about, and I doubt he'll finish top 3 or even be a finalist, but like what Zach Rowensky has done in Columbus has been pretty incredible, to be honest. So
Actually,
he'd be one of my top 5 for sure.
I think it's a 2-horse race.
I think so. I think
Draisaitl, Hellebuck?
Draisaitl,
McKinnon. McKinnon. Hellebuck is number 2 on the board. Did you know in his last 25 starts, he's 21-2-2?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Could you imagine?
What about against Canada?
I just
Bring that up.
like who was the last goalie to win the Hart? It's been a minute.
Theodore, yeah.
So I just
20 years.
don't see it happening.
The playoff race in the Western Conference, it's actually pretty interesting that they're just point blank is one this year. Feels like it's been a while. Right now, wild card 2, because I really do think that's all the races at this point. It's for wild card 2. Vancouver, 65 points, 59 games. Calgary's 1 point back with a game in hand, I may add. Utah is 2 points back. St. Louis is 3 points back, but Vancouver does have a game in hand on both of those teams. But that's kind of the mix. It's Vancouver, Calgary, Utah, and St. Louis all fighting for one spot. Vancouver is the odds-on favorite, minus 150. Then you have Calgary at plus 270, Utah at plus 350, and the Blues at plus 850. If you guys had to bet today, who gets the final wildcard spot? Pre-deadline.
Whoever is not Vancouver, because I was just reading Canucks Army this morning and I saw the offer that they reportedly gave to Brock Besser. And also I was talking to young David Quadrelli. They don't think they would trade him if he says no. So if Vancouver misses the playoffs, they will literally lose Brock Besser for nothing.
Yeah, I like that.
And then Quinn Hughes leaves too.
I kind of want, now this is going to be weird for me to say. And I kind of want Calgary to make it in. Just because of the idea of like their fan base will just hate it. And I think, actually, you know, like them finishing 8th in the West or 9th in the West. Like,
9th or 10th is even better.
But if they were to get in and then just like have a bad first round and inevitably get knocked out by whichever top seed it is, I think that's nice for me as well.
I would like to see Utah.
I like that.
I like the structure that they created coming out of the ashes of Arizona. And frankly, I just don't think anybody's thinking of them in that race.
If they ever won to, it'd be the most mellow Stanley Cup celebration in history. Everybody's got a fresh water.
The parade would be 45 minutes on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
At like 4:00. It's like, that's the only time we can sell booze.
They don't got to grease up the poles like they do in Philly.
No.
You know?
You don't know. They've never had one yet. Maybe that'll be epic.
I think it's St. Louis.
Really?
I actually, wow. If I
think you've got the computer that I do believe I said at the beginning of the year, I think St. Louis makes the playoffs because I was the one who said Vancouver, I think, doesn't make the playoffs.
I also said Vancouver would come close to missing the playoffs.
Western playoff teams. Here's everyone's from the early season prediction. I did Edmonton, Vegas, Van, Dallas, Utah, Winnipeg, Colorado, Nashville. Only one of us didn't. Oh, no, we all had Nashville. Dan went Edmonton, Vegas, Van, LA, Dallas, Colorado, Nashville, Winnipeg.
Oh, I didn't take them.
Rick went Edmonton, Vegas, Van, Dallas, Mini, Winnipeg, Colorado, then Nashville.
The biggest league letdown was Vancouver with me.
Yeah, that is correct. BM, Edmonton, Vegas, Van, Dallas, St. Louis, Winnipeg, Colorado, Nashville again. Although, so BM, you did have St. Louis. Liam went Edmonton, Vegas, LA, Van, and then Dallas, Colorado, Winnipeg, Nashville. So
Nashville still blows my mind.
It's crazy how bad they are.
It is wild. They stink.
Luke Shen was something.
What did he say?
On Friday, I'll get it up here. It was on Daily Face-Off.
Friday?
Or not Friday, it was like Monday.
Basically, was like, I've never been around a team that just can't score like this.
It was wild.
They have players too. They have offensive players.
Yeah. They've got good players too. Like
Victor Arvidsson for Luke Shen.
I would.
He's
Yeah.
35, but
I would
These
because like he's
contracts-
probably got what, nothing left on it.
275 for one more year.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'd rather.
Oh, I didn't know he's got one more year. If
One
he was
more
like
year,
a
two-
straight rental, I would do it.
1 year at 275 isn't terrible.
No, it's not terrible, but
And you get out Arvidsson, which is
But
crazy.
you're gonna have Emberson's cheap contract,
yeah,
right?
he's a right shot. I don't know, maybe he can't play top 4 though. I
Fair.
don't think I
The
would.
quote was, "I don't think I've ever been a part of a group like this that literally can't score a goal."
Seth Jones just said the other day, like, our team hasn't got any better from the beginning of the season. This is like insane.
Well, I think
Paraphrase.
he's just fishing for a trade anyway. He can get
He's
it.
not wrong, though.
But everybody
If
in
you
Chicago,
scorch the earth bad enough, they'll move you one
you
way or
ima-
another.
Do you imagine what the talk is about Bedard's career over there?
Well, I was
Second
thinking
year,
about that
yeah.
too, because like when Connor came in, there was a bunch of pieces already around. Bedard's kind of like the first one in.
And they're so when you bring in a guy like that, we've seen it, we've learned.
We've lived it.
Bring in some older offensive guys.
they did. His
that
name
can
is
sur-
Corey Perry.
Bring in some older offensive guys that can support him and play around him that he can look at and talk to and relate to, and then bring in like the bottom half of guys.
Somebody had that stat that it's like he's had like 32 different line mates in this season alone.
Like his best player has probably been Foligno.
Bedard.
Nothing wrong with him, but that's
What could be?
he's a bottom 6 dude.
Hey,
There was a clip that was cruising around Instagram the other day where Bedard got a penalty of some kind, and the 10,000 yard stare he had was very funny. Not for him.
The funny thing about Bedard is too, like when he was on the Regina Pats, that team also couldn't figure out how to put anything around him. And they were just like constantly the H seed and just got eliminated every year. And they were like, should have been way better. When you compare, like, not to get too deep, but like Medicine Hat Tigers have everything around Gavin McKenna. Bedard is basically on his own. So he's just living the same dream.
Just to wrap, Oilers tomorrow against the Canes. They are plus 115 underdogs against
I'm doing it.
Carolina.
Have to.
I'm doing it. I got to manifest somehow.
I said I'm going to put $100 on them to win, and if they lose, I'm just going to put double that on them smoking the Ducks on Tuesday.
Puck line.
Like flip it and reverse it.
No, give me the Oilers to win
Put
by
the thing
2.
down, flip it, and reverse it.
Hell yeah. Plus 240 if you
Now
flip
we're
the puck line
talking.
and take the Oilers.
All right.
All right, there you
Well,
go.
Ben
Shout out to
talk.
Bet365.
Yeah, shout out to our friends at Bet365. Proud partner of Oilersnation Radio. Open an account at Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use the code NATION, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Ask the idiots, fellas. This one is for the Nation Vacation. I think there's like 2 spots left on this thing. Pretty sure.
You can also win your way in by coming to Greta on March 14th. Quick
March
plug.
14th is fight night at Greta. You can win a chance. You can earn a chance for 2 on the Nation Vacation to join us in Vegas. It is going to be a blast. Or if you want to get the last couple of spots, nationgear.ca. We got a flight package. We got a non-flight package. If you got some points or some miles or whatever you want to use. And we also got a ticket package that's still up there as well. If you're already going to be down in Vegas and just want to join us at the Stella Artois Lounge. Ask the idiots, fellas. I got 3 questions for you.
Good now. Go ahead.
He's struggling over here.
Mike
Yeah, I
Stand
thought it
out
was
the
a battle.
window. Out the window. It's
Been there for 50 minutes. He's been fine with it in the last 3 seconds. The guy is no good.
We got 3 questions, 2 Oilers, 1 nonsense. You ready?
Yep.
Liam, you're up first. What's your best guess on a single reason why the Oilers look so bad right now? You can only pick one.
Team defense.
I'm going to go puck management. I'm selfish. Rick, you're up.
Playing as a team.
Dan,
It's team defense.
say it.
Goalie can't steal one. Elite
There you go.
goalie, they probably sneak out a win at some point here.
There you go.
They don't deserve
Reverse the order.
5? Whatever.
Reverse the order. If Frank Saravalli appeared on Oilers Nation every day last week and spoke about the Oilers potentially only making a single trade, assuming Frank is right and the Oilers only make one deal, what would you do with that one move, Tyler?
Top 4 defensemen who can play on the right side. Doesn't have to be right shot. Someone who can play on the right side. Top 4 D-man.
Dan, assuming Frank's right and they're only making one move, what are you doing with that move?
What he said.
Shut
Shut
says
down
defense.
RD.
There's Rick.
Just because I don't think they could do it if they were only to make one move, because that would mean Evander Kane will be back, right? I guess.
I don't know.
Oh, well, that's what Frank.
He's not Frank.
That's what Frank kind of said. I will say third pair and left shot. Then you bump up Kulak to play your top 4. I think that's the only way they can make the money work.
I would, if I can only have one, and I'm assuming Kane is not back, and you can spend the full rip. It is absolutely a top 40 man.
If you can spell the full rep, I'm with you guys too.
Final question. A little bit of fun on this one. Jumping at you, Rick. This one comes in from Blake. Very important question. You can only order fries from one fast food spot for the rest of your life. Who gets your business?
Can you guarantee that they will always be fresh?
Yes.
McDonald's.
I also think that's the easy answer. McDonald's fresh
They
fries.
have to be fresh.
Yep, fresh fries.
I disagree.
Go ahead, Liam. Who you
What, you're gonna
picking?
eat cold McDonald's fries?
They'll be slightly old because the answer is McDonald's.
Well, who gets your business, Liam?
McDonald's.
Oh,
If they're
all right.
slightly old.
Wait a minute.
You don't like them
You don't
fresh?
like when they're hot and crispy?
I like
What
them
is
a little
slightly
bit-
old
a little bit
defined?
soggy.
So like
A little limp?
A little bit.
Like them a little limp?
So made like 2 hours ago? Yep.
How long are they sitting under the lamp for you?
We're talking 10, 15. Nothing crazy.
All right.
Extra salt.
Have you checked to make sure? Like, have you waited?
Did you ever ask? You how long have them fries been sitting there?
Here's the thing. When so you get your McDonald's, you're in a drive-through, you put your hand in the bag. If I put my hand in the bag and my hand is getting slightly burnt from the fries,
No,
I
that's good
can't-
living.
I can't eat them right away.
That's
because
exactly
my
what I
mouth
want.
is going to be on fire. I want to put my hand in. They're going to go, oh, it's a little hot, but it's okay. And I can just,
You eat a handful at once, burn your mouth, and turn around and sue them like the lady with the hot coffee.
Yeah, you put
Good
your hand,
idea.
you
Thank
burn
you.
your mouth like a man.
I have a lot of fruit.
You don't wait for those to cool. You burn yourself like,
Yes,
like an adult.
that's right.
Dan, who's getting your business? You only get to buy fries from one fast
Well,
food place.
It's not technically a fast food place, but I would say Costco. But if I have to go with a fast food joint, I'm going to say Dairy Queen. Underrated fries at Dairy Queen.
They are good.
That's all fries.
Going with McDonald's too. Me and my buddies have like dumb nicknames for places that are just NHL players. The casino's the Nick Bonino. So it's like, hey, you boys want to go hit up the Nick Bonino night? McDonald's, Donskoy's. You know,
I
it's
want to
Donskoy's.
change my answer.
The answer
to
is McDonald's.
McDavid's.
Yes. The one on Gateway specifically. There's only one
Exactly.
location I'll order them from
It
as
will
well.
always be Donskoy's to me.
There you go. The Ask the Idiots Nation Vacation. I'd like to hear from you. If you're listening to this, where would you buy fries from? Okay, reverse question now. I'm asking. Liam, where are you never buying fries from?
I don't really like KFC fries, but I love the gravy.
That's why you buy popcorn chicken and then the gravy. You get best of both worlds.
The chicken they do at Kentucky Fried Chicken, pretty good.
I don't
If they
like
did
Wendy's.
poor chicken, they
Yeah,
wouldn't have been
Wendy's
around as
isn't
long.
great value menu.
I like A&W's though. A&W's fries are good.
I was going to say I'm not a big A&W guy. I have to get onion rings every time.
Buddy, their onion rings are
Onion rings at A&W.
dope.
legit.
That's why you get them.
Rick, where are you not buying fries from?
The fish and chips place. We talked about this the other day.
Brits? Oh, Brits
I
is taking more
don't like
shrapnel.
they come out like plain
It's not a fast
potatoes.
food
I
place.
need-
It's a restaurant.
I
It's a
need
local
some-
restaurant. That
but it comes fast.
I actually don't like Wendy's fries, so I would pick Wendy's.
But at fast
I'll
food
eat 'em.
places, Rick, I want to know your actual fast food
Yeah.
joint
I
fries.
can't think of a bad
Tell us
fry.
what you actually
I
like from that
I
place.
quite enjoy French fries. If they're fresh and well salted, they're gonna be good.
and French.
Technically Belgian, but whatever.
That was me.
Wendy's, your fries are shit.
They sponsored.
Again, if you want to come back and sponsor us in the playoffs, we're
You know what? Wendy's, I love your fries.
Kind of good.
Depending on how much you pay us, we'll play which one of those clips.
funny. Wendy's.
Don't clip this, Wes. Just keep this one under wraps.
if anyone from Wendy's corporate is listening, hand up, that's on us.
Great value menu.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about Wendy's, listen, I'll crush spicy chickens every day of the week, the rest of my life.
Their dude, the Baconator is
Bacon.
right up there in
It is
tops of burgers.
One of the best
Yep.
fast food burgers you can get.
Yep.
If not
JBC.
the-
Square burgers.
JBC is the best value of a burger. out
I'm
there.
with Dan on this one. JBC, you get some nuggies, frosty.
What's the
$6.
dollar comparison between a JBC and a McDonald's cheeseburger?
Like probably 50 cents.
But the
Because McDonald's
vegetables
cheese,
on
I don't need the lettuce and the tomatoes. I appreciate that. It's just like a little extra, but
Bacon,
And
no, on
the
bacon.
cheeseburger from McDonald's
vegetable
is
of bacon.
still
Rick,
really
Rick,
good.
vegetable of bacon.
Bro, Wendy's. We're trying to get Wendy's back on board with us.
Yeah, we're trying to win.
I just told you,
No,
man.
I'm out on the Wendy's. What is McDonald's offering me? And I don't care how much you have to pay. Rick.
Listen,
Baconator.
send this clip to McDonald's, but not to the other one.
Decent point.
I do
Right?
love a McFlurry.
I love a McFlurry. I love a Frosty. Just get your fries the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's weird.
What?
French fries and Frosties.
Oh, dipping?
Yeah,
It is weird.
that's weird.
Are you a
Potatoes
toddler?
in milk.
It's like that was like the lady who did the chicken fingers in the Coca-Cola.
Oh,
Ew.
yeah,
At the
Oh, give
baseball
it a
game
little
bunch of
stir.
years ago.
that's kind of fucked up.
You gotta give
Then
it a
there
little
was
stir.
there's the video of the old, I think it's an Asian dude using a straw down the middle of his hot dog.
Oh, you gotta get a
And
glizzy
then the
gobbler.
fucking wiener as a straw.
That's just smart. That's just smart. You know?
Infusing the flavor into the dog.
We can't stand paper straws this much that we're turning our hot dogs into straws.
Well, that was 5 minutes.
Let's wrap up the show with hot and cold performers for Tyler. The Daily Face Off trade deadline show is coming up next Friday. It's going to be everywhere. I'm telling you, go subscribe to the Daily Face Off YouTube channel right now. I'm going to give you a minute. Okay. You go. All right. Thanks. Show's going to be next Friday. Tyler, what do you got planned? A little teaser, we call it.
Myself, Carter Hutton, Colby Cohn, Johnny Lazarus, Frank Saravalli, all the Daily Face Off friends will be there. We're going to stream until 2 o'clock Mountain Time, so an hour past the deadline. We're going to start 9 a.m. Mountain, so it's a long, long stream. I'm going to try not piss once during the whole thing.
Whoa, that's insane.
Which
You're gonna
will
piss
itself
twice?
be a long stream.
Yeah.
Pee twice.
No, just one. None pisses.
None.
0 in the piss per 60.
That's brought to you by Depends.
Yeah, we should get a diaper.
So yeah, that's
Still pissing.
that's the whole shebang for me.
One time I was doing a report for Nate. We had to do a sales report on a product and I did adult diapers. And part of it was pissing into one. I did it at my house, not at school. And it is amazing how much pee one of those can hold.
Yeah, I'm good actually.
Tyler, it would make for good content if
Tyler,
people tried to
given
watch
how
the
much
entire stream and figure
You
out what
enjoy
you
a flow.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that'd be right up your alley.
Yeah.
You can empty a full adult bladder in one of those.
So everyone listening right now has 1 week in order to get some adult diapers here for Tyler, so
Yep.
you can wear during the stream next Friday.
And we all pee in them in
You can drop
solidarity.
them off.
Mhm.
You can mail them in.
Can you imagine like all the content teams wearing just adult diapers and like someone comes in like a salesperson like, hey, let us show you how the office operates on deadline day, and it's just everyone in diapers.
Like,
Well,
you
you
want
know
to see the commitment in this company? We're
Well,
all
you
pissing,
see
baby.
you see the waist up, right? So everyone's in the
Yeah.
suit, the tie, the jacket, whatever, making it look a little and you know, everybody knows they're just in shorts or whatever. So you come in here and Ty's got the the normal up, and then the bottom just a nice pair of adult diapers.
Yeah, he's Pooh Bear.
Good.
Maybe the ones that look like jeans.
Oh, those are good. You want the ones that can fit under your pants too and make it not look like you have a little line there? I
Yeah.
hate that.
So
Hot and cold performance. Let's start off with our veggies as we always do. Tyler, you were up first. Our cold performer of the week for the Daily Face Off trade deadline show.
I saw a couple other people say this online, so I'm more comfortable saying it because I know it's a little unpopular. But the Carolina Hurricanes wearing Hartford Whaler jerseys, a little fucked up.
Why?
Can you imagine if the Oilers had moved to Seattle, let's say, in like 07, and then every year you would just sit and watch them play in Oilers jerseys? I'd be like, that's messed up. You took our shit and now you're flexing on us. Same thing. The Houston Texans, every once in a while, or sorry, the Tennessee Titans every year will wear Houston Oilers jerseys when they play the Houston Texans. You took the team. You do not get to take their history. Can you imagine if the Arizona Coyotes once a year were like, we're wearing Jets jerseys against the Winnipeg Jets? Insane. Whalers, don't like it. Cold performer.
Although the Jets are the kings of stealing other people's history and claiming it as
Haven't the Avs thrown on a Nordique style jersey?
Hate it.
Yep.
All right, just checking.
Yep, they
I
have.
agree. The Tennessee Houston thing is very funny though.
It's so, it's
That
like,
is
Memphis,
insane
Vancouver?
that the NFL's like, yeah, you can do that.
don't like it.
All right.
Arizona Coyotes did a whiteout the first year that they were in the playoffs.
Very
Yeah, Winnipeg.
objectively stupid.
Really dumb.
It's just like a
Yeah, it was stupid because they don't wear white.
And
Yes.
people are like, oh, if you're a Whalers fan, wouldn't you love to see them back in action?
No.
Again, Rick, if the
No.
Oilers, like, exactly.
they
I
are
just
sick
don't-
I would
jerseys.
very much dislike that.
Sweet jerseys. But
However,
they're
I do like
sick
their
jerseys.
unis. Yeah.
Dan, you're up next for the Nation Vacation, or sorry, for the trade deadline show. Your cold form of the week.
I'm just going to give it to Janet Gretzky for continuing this Wayne Gretzky saga by posting Bobby Orr's letter.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Rick, you're up. Cold form of the week.
I'm Team Gretzky. I can say this because I don't think he's going to listen to it.
Wayne?
No, I'm all for Gretz. If people can't get over that, that's on you guys. Get over. Stop being so damn soft. when it comes
He's
to
devastated, Rick. Devastated.
good, he should be. People are shitting on the guy for doing nothing.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely insanity. And we kicked Don Cherry out for doing the exact same thing. Don't like Don, don't like Wayne. You don't like either side of it.
Had
You can't
nothing
only
to
have
do
down the
with
middle.
one or the other.
Brutal.
Not even close. Right?
Brutal.
Say your call before.
Brutal. Anyways,
You people.
Say your cold performer. I can't handle this.
Tension in the air.
he's not going to listen, so I can say it, but it's Cleem and his terrible, terrible curling skills.
Oh, that's cold.
Clean?
He doesn't
Cotton?
Yeah.
He's curled?
Right now he did. He put it on his Instagram today.
Oh.
Oh,
Have to check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Did he fall?
No, but I don't think he got back to the hog line either.
Oh, no.
He did say
Oh,
he crashed
no.
the first time.
oh boy. Liam, you're up. Cold performer of the week for the Daily Face-Off Trade Deadline Show.
You guys know me. Try and get out and about and explore new things.
You are a man about town. They say.
Yeah. So I went to a movie trivia night on Monday and got absolutely smoked.
Mm.
A lot of people who were there, 17 teams. I finished 13. Not bad in comparison. But
Not great.
no, not great. But it was nuts. What people know is crazy. Also, too, let's make sure the teams are balanced. There was a table of 9 there and they finished second. My table was a team of 4. Come on, it's double the brain bar.
Are you thrilled? I'm not.
Was that on the show on Tuesday we talked about?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I was like, I know this already.
That is very
I'm having my
frustrating.
trauma responses to Star Wars trivia again.
What was the grand prize for the first?
Oh,
You got a gift card to somewhere of like $200 something. So actually, that's pretty good.
that's not,
Oh, you
unless you win with 9 people.
yeah, not great. I think you got your bill paid for, and then you got a gift card on top of that too.
All right.
Pretty good.
Standard.
Cold performer of the week for me is just I can't shake it. I'm so annoyed with Victor Arvidsson. He's just been so disappointing, and I was so excited to have him. So I feel like an asshole for thinking this was going to work out.
I'm upset.
All right, let's wrap up the podcast with some positives. Liam, I'm going to reverse the order. You're up first. Hot performer of the week for the Daily Face-Off Trade Deadline Show.
Gotta go out to Janet Gretzky.
They gotta stand up for your man.
For a second time.
What a
Okay.
supportive woman.
Yeah.
There you go. And that wasn't it, but I'll take that one.
He's a hot guy.
She deleted the post, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I imagine the comments were very reasonable.
But my real one is the weather.
What?
Yeah,
I
all
love
of
the
it.
sun coming back. The only thing is it's a little wet out there.
We got some bare legs on here
but
today.
we earned it now. Remember earlier in the winter we said we hadn't earned it yet. We earned
Yeah,
it.
we
We
got
burned
through
it.
February. Thank goodness.
Yeah, it's
We're
rough.
almost at the point where I got some fresh white shoes that are about to come out.
Damn. Daniel.
Mm-hmm. Rick, you're up next. Hot performer of the week.
I don't think I've ever given out this award this early in the week, but I made it about
It's Friday.
15.
Let's do it for
I know, but I handed this out. I mentally handed it out last week.
Right after the episode.
It's Liam
Yes.
Oh.
for what he dropped on us last week with the Magnum,
Yes.
with his handicap, golf league,
Mm.
and then everything. And he's back in Janet. And there was one more in the last weeks that I can't quite remember.
I just said
But he does want to be called White Chocolate by now.
Yep.
I had a Magnum after dinner.
Oh,
I think it was white chocolate.
I don't came in here today talking about Liam and Magnums. I'm like, damn, good for my boy. But why are you guys
That's
talking
exactly
about
what
that?
I said. He goes, well, and then I had a Magnum. I'm like, Jesus.
It just drops.
Whoa.
out.
And then he was hot performer was like, and he was trying to say he's first place in his golf league, but he goes, but it's obviously a handicapped league. And me and Rick are like, what?
Oh, it's the Benchwarmers
I don't know.
with Johnny Knoxville?
No, no, that was the
The Ringer.
yeah, the ringer.
Yeah.
Classic.
Here's your button, Liam.
Pour it on.
Or sorry, that was
That was me, but I'll
that was
take it.
Rick for Liam.
Thanks, Rick.
I've done a well job.
I can't believe it.
There you go. So Liam, hey,
Yeah, I was
if
right.
you
I
see
was like,
somebody tripoded around city, you know where it is.
Liam having a chocolate.
He's leaning forward like Michael Jackson.
It's just like there's a trail of dragging lines behind everywhere he goes. Dan, you're up next. Hop Farm of the Week.
Mine's going to go out to the CBC in this hour is 22 minutes, who just did a sketch about the booing of the anthems. And I haven't laughed as hard as I did when they rolled out a sick kid to come out onto the stands.
Was that new or was that old?
It was brand new from this week.
I didn't know they still make that
and
show.
then,
It was well
of
done.
course, the crowd was kind of like conflicted as to whether they should start booing. And then they got louder and booed. It was just, it's good stuff. You should go check it out on this hour's 22 minutes social.
The big guy is smoking hot.
They did a great one, and you should just watch it. I maybe shouldn't spoil it, but it's what the grocery prices, and it's like, buy Canadian. It's the right thing to do. Then at the end, he goes to check out, and they're like, that'll be $380. And it just ends with Loblaws. We always win.
Tyler, you're up. Hop Farm of the Week.
It's going to go to Uber. If you missed the Real Life podcast, I told my wild Uber story, and I'm just felt too
Sum it
bad.
real quick for the boys.
Yeah. Uber driver was like, I'm not taking you. And I was like, what? And then he's like, cancel the ride, give me cash. I was like, what? And then he's like, just give me cash. Huh? So I told the story on the air, and I always feel too bad to like report these people and write up, but Uber themselves heard it and reached out and gave me a sweet gift card. So shout out to Uber for making it right.
Yeah, but you got to use it through that guy again.
Just that guy. No, I can use it on Eats, which is great.
Oh, nice.
It's like, excuse me, sir, we have arranged an agreement.
Yeah.
Ahead of time. You know where I'm going.
He was like,
I've already sorted out a price.
He was like, you didn't pay enough. I'm like, the app says I did. He's like,
your boss says I did.
But Uber, so what we've got out of this is Uber listens to Real Life.
yeah, they do. The person, like the
They just
person, it wasn't even
sent
like
it
they emailed me. The person on their like personal account reached out to me. I was like, hey, listen to the show, heard this. Like, can you email me, please?
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
I
great.
just want to take this time to say my hot performer of the week has been and always will be fine folks at Wendy's.
Love Wendy's. The fries.
Daily face-off trivia game or whatever it was last year.
that
Love 'em.
was such a hit. We brought it back.
Listen, they just make an amazing product. I want to talk about it. So thank you, Dave Thomas, for everything you've done for me.
And Wendy.
All right. You know how it ends. Game tomorrow. Hurricanes. Last game of the trip, Liam. What's your score prediction?
3-2 overtime. Oilers.
Rick?
4-2 Oilers.
Daniel.
5-1 Oilers.
Tyler.
5-2 Oilers. 5-2.
Enjoy the 12-1 beatdown by the Oilers tomorrow.
They're due.
Have a great win.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.